More than 2 months ago we set up the Junglearium 2.0, we finished it, completely finished it, and in the meantime there has been a lot of development. Some plants died off, some plants are growing like crazy. I added some new plants, I added some animals, and today we are going to check everything. This is how the enclosure originally looked. It was a bit sparse, a lot of plants but not a lot of growth. And this is how it looks now. It is not that much fuller, to be honest, but plants are definitely starting to grow more and more. And you can see that the background got this nice greenish tint because the moss is starting to grow on its own basically everywhere. Now, before we begin, I actually need to tell you something. I always try to have like a completely transparent and honest relationship with you guys, with my viewers, and it is in regards to this shirt, the Dark Den Nature Adventure shirt. You know that the idea behind this shirt is to finance the trip to Khao Sok National Park in Thailand, to have the first Dark Den Nature Adventure in actual jungle and search for my favorite tarantula, the Hylobrachys electric blue. But the thing is, less than 30 shirts got pre-ordered, which is obviously not close enough. And I'm a bit ashamed of it, and I just thought to silently not mention it again, refund all the pre-orders and be done with it. But I don't know, transparency, honesty and all that stuff. So they will still be available on the webshop for next week, and then after that I will see. If you made a pre-order, thank you, but if you get a refund, now you know why. Anyway, let's go down to business, but for that we need to go 1 month earlier when I added stuff inside. Yesterday I returned from Verona Reptiles, the expo in Italy, and as you know, I bought some animals over there. Some animals I bought strictly for the Junglearium 2.0, and unfortunately one of the 2 frogs that I bought, the 3 frogs, one is unfortunately already dead. And these are the 3 frogs that I got. You see, I got a small species. This individual is alive while the other one unfortunately for some reason died. Look at this. I don't know if it was already this slim when I got it, but if you see, if you look at the other one, this one is much fatter than this one, and what actually happened, I have no idea. Or is it still alive? I see some movement over there, you see? Wait a minute, I need to investigate. It definitely doesn't look alive. Yeah, no movement, but oh, it is not dead. What? Are you okay? Why are you scaring me like that? But what is this position? Are you in the process of dying or what? What is actually happening? Okay, it is not dead, but there is something definitely wrong with it. I don't know, maybe stress from the transport or something. I came here, oh, movement. Hey buddy, will you be alright? What is up with your legs? Your back legs. So yesterday I arrived, and of course I didn't put them immediately inside because I went to bed. But when I brought them here, I didn't really check them out. So I don't know if it was like this when I already brought it here or it happened overnight. No idea, but anyway, so I got these 2 frogs, and also I got this cool carnivorous plant that is suitable for the Junglearium, for the environment. You see, this is the type of plant that got those sticky pads on the leaves, so insects stick to them, and that is how they grab the insects. Really cool concept. It is not like a super good looking, but I really like it. And the second plant that I got, also another carnivorous plant. Look at this amazing thing. Although I am now not 100% certain if it is a smart thing to put this in the Junglearium, because I'm not sure if other animals can get trapped inside. Animals like, I'm thinking about the lizards. I don't really mind if a couple of millipedes get inside and get eaten. I don't mind that because I have a ton of them, and I want this to be like a real nature, you know, and stuff like that happen in nature. But I really wouldn't like my geckos getting trapped and eaten by the carnivorous plant. So even though I will add it to the Junglearium, I'm going to keep a close eye on it, and I will check all the pictures every night to make sure that there are no lizards stuck inside. So let's add them all to the Junglearium. I don't think that any additional introduction is needed for this enclosure, but if you're not familiar, there is a playlist, the whole playlist of how I built this enclosure, and also there is like a short recap video that I recently uploaded about this enclosure and how it was built. And I also forgot to mention, this plant is also something that I bought on the expo, but I already added it to the enclosure. You see this floating plant, so the tadpoles have something to hide underneath. Now let's figure out where I'll put these carnivorous plants. Since it is fine with direct sunlight and also with low sunlight, I think that I will put it somewhere like here. Currently this spot got a lot of light, but once this plant start growing back, you see it is growing like here and here. This is nice because it was kinda, when I replanted it here, it looked like it will die. You see, like this leaf is dead, but it will definitely continue to grow, so it will create shade here. But this carnivorous plant should be fine with it. At least that is what the seller told me. Now to get this out. Okay, really moist soil, you see. Now, small frog hiding here under the leaf. Anyway, I will plant it right here. And we can actually return this leaf for the frog. Honestly, it looks like it was there all this time. It fits perfectly. Yeah, I love it. Now to add the frogs. What will I do with this one? Is it even a smart thing to add it? What if it's like sick or something? But I think there is a better chance for it to recover in the Junglearium than inside of this small box. Yeah, I will just add it and we will see what will happen. I will just drop her here on this. Yeah, I don't think that it will survive. No movement like at all. Nothing. Yeah, this looks really unfortunate. Whatever. Hopefully the second one will be fine. It definitely looks fine. Will she jump like crazy if I... What the hell? I have no idea where it went. What is this? No! Oh my god! Look where it jumped! On the camera! This is crazy, come on! You want to go on the leaf? Yes. No, hey, come on. I don't think that you want to stay here because you're not a terrestrial frog, but you got it immediately hid. You have an enormous enclosure. Oh no, it went inside of this hole. No more recording. This was so disappointing. I was hoping that we will see how it will move around, but nope. Now let's add the coolest plant. And for location, I'm not sure, but I'm thinking of this location. Maybe I know that there are bromeliads, but that would be the best spot because then the pictures can just hang down. I need to check if that's a possibility. I'm not sure if I can move the bromeliads. Oh yeah, I can easily. Great. They both got new sprouts, so this is a nice stack that I need to figure out where to put. Actually, first let's see if we can put the bromeliad here. Not the bromeliad, the carnivorous plant. I'm thinking that I can just put it together with all that soil. Yeah, that is the idea. Now I know that it looks messy currently, but as it grows, it will take a better shape as it roots and establishes. Yeah, the plant will figure it out, but you see, this was the idea of pictures to hang down like this. Okay, that is it for now. Let's see the development. Unfortunately, the frog didn't survive, but it was really weird because she did move a bit, and then as it was getting dark, as the light were turning off, she was getting darker and darker and almost black or something. Then she moved again, started to bloat a bit, and started to be whiter and whiter. And that was basically it. I poked her in the morning, but she was completely dead by then. And in regards to the other frog, I was hoping that she will be visible during the time-lapse, that she will move up, but unfortunately that didn't happen, and I never spotted it ever. Will you be surprised when I tell you that that was the last time I have seen that frog? Shocker, right? How I can't find a tiny frog inside of enclosure like this. A tiny frog that obviously loves to hide. I was expecting that I will hear it calling, but maybe it is a female and I don't think that females call. So yeah, that was a little bit pointless, at least for now. And I don't really know why I'm surprised with that. Actually, I know why I'm surprised. I'm surprised because other frogs that I have inside are always visible, even the babies. You see, there is one baby. There you can see another baby. I always see them hopping around, especially when it is feeding time. And look where Dendrobates auratus is. She's probably sniping some isopods under that cork bark. But when it comes to geckos, we basically have the same problem. They are never outside and I rarely spotted them. I need to sit here and observe, and then if I'm lucky I will see some movement. Frogs are of course continuing to multiply. As you can see over there, that frog got tadpoles on the back, while there are bigger tadpoles living inside of this lake, of course. Also, they are most of the time chilling, so you need to wait a long time before you spot some. You see someone is eating that plant. I assume tadpoles, but I'm not really sure if they are capable of doing that. And for some reason this plant really spread, you see. I don't know if that is good or bad. As I'm poking here around the lake to try to move some tadpoles, there are frogs coming to see what is up, because usually when I'm here that means food, and they really know that. Let me see if there are some under the leaf. I guess you will just need to trust me when I say that they are inside. Incredible, why I cannot find a single one. I know that they go in between the rocks, so I would expect when I'm touching those rocks that they will just swim around, but no. Yeah, you need to trust me, but look, she came out of the cork bark. So maybe we should give her some flies, and also, since this is a carnivorous plant, I hope I'm saying it correct this time. Since it is a carnivorous plant, I want to try and give it fruit flies. I want to see if they will actually stick to it. So test number 1. Come on, fruit fly, fall down. What? I lost the fly. Oh, but never mind. There is already something stuck, you see? Yeah. And while we are here, there it is. You see? Told you that there are some tadpoles inside. Anyway, it works. That is definitely some fly or something. But I would like to see it in real time. So, once again. Okay. Oh. Would you look at that? It definitely works. You see how it is stuck to the leaf. This is actually a perfect thing to record with the macro lens, right? There is like a ton of hairs on the leaf, and when fly touches them, it sticks to them, which traps the fly, and somehow it eats the fly. You see how this one looks. This is so cool to see in works. Anyway, what do you think? It seemed like it could see the fly under the leaf. Oh, you see, it sees the fly. Hey, don't steal the fly from the plant. Maybe that's the problem. Now it pushed the fly. And it got the fly. Oh my, that was not yours. But awesome thing to witness. Now let's start with the tour of the enclosure and see how plants are developing other plants. First of all, check this out. You see this plant? Does it look familiar? I definitely didn't plant it here. It has grown on its own, and this is actually that plant, that huge plant over there. So I think that there was like a root left over in the substrate, and now it sprouted a brand new stem. And what do you want? Will you eat my fingers? Stop, stop, stop. Anyway, unfortunately, I will need to take it out because, of course, it cannot be here. It grows way, way, way too big, and then it creates enormous shade. And speaking of shade, check this out. This plant, we planted it here, obviously, and these are the original leaves that were on it, and also there was third leaf that is now, you see, not really that in a good shape, it is dead. But these two leaves, these are brand new leaves, and check out the difference. Not only that they are almost twice as big, they also got a nicer pattern on them. Look at this. The beautiful purplish pattern. And what is also super interesting, yeah, don't mind me, huh? I'm trying to record the video here. Anyway, they are super short, and that is because this plant was originally in partial shade and it was trying to reach the sun, and that's why it is extending so much. But now when it got an uncontested sun, it is nowhere near shade. Now it doesn't need to spend that much energy to have a long stem. It can just be like that. Awesome thing, and I think that I will just snap off those two. Yeah, we want new better leaves, and please go where you belong. So we can say goodbye to those two leaves. And one unfortunate update over here, another baby. Over here we had that plant that got like spiked leaves and looked awesome. Unfortunately it completely just died and dried off. It is no longer present here, but from this enclosure I had one alocasia plant. I just had the root and I put the root inside, and now look, that root is sprouting. So yeah, we will have a nice plant covering this area. Also, somehow this plant spread all the way over here. I have no idea how, and obviously this plant is everywhere. Just like in the old Junglearium, this is the original location of the plant. There is a lot of it here, but it managed to spread everywhere. Wherever you look, you can see that plant. Also over there and over there and over there. Incredible. By the way, look at this. Gecko eggs, and I already spotted gecko eggs somewhere here, you see? But they look a bit too dark. I don't know if they are all right or not. And now look at this. 1, 2, third one just moved, and you see over there. So yeah, if we're patient, we can observe a lot of them. Anyway, look at this next amazing thing. You see this beautiful moss that is on the log. You see it? It looks awesome, and I never added it to the enclosure. It was originally on the log, but it was completely dried off, and I never thought that it will actually manage to sprout like this. You see, it is thriving in semi-humid environment, because the moss here that is like completely wet, it is not really growing that well, or maybe it is just spreading over there, I don't know, but this one is performing awesome, just like this one, you see. And of course that in between you can see this plant and check out this climbing plant, or however we can call it. I just put it over there, and it is growing really nice here. Slowly, but it is growing. Also, it is beginning to grow over there, you see, and over there. As expected, this plant is growing nicely over here and over here. Also, this one is continuing to spread. I don't really need to talk about it, but I will talk about this how it's called, I forgot, but it was in really bad shape, and basically I only put the root here, and now you see it is sprouting on all sides, which is beautiful. I love it. This bromeliad didn't really work out, but majority of other bromeliads are doing amazing. Look, here's a new one, over there is a new one, over here is a new one. For rest we need to go on the other side, but before that, look at this. Another carnivorous plant. I put it here from the original Junglearium, and over there it was on the bottom where it was struggling to get a proper light, and it didn't have any pictures. Now it got a bunch of fresh pictures, you see, on all sides, and the leaves are beautiful, continuing to grow, so it really likes this location. Well, now let's go to the other side where I have another bad update, and it is in regards to the plant that we put here. That is beautiful and awesome plant that grows really tall, and that's why I put it here in the corner, hoping that it will fill up this corner, but it just dried, as you can see. It completely just dried and died, and unfortunately I no longer have it. I have no idea why it happened. In the original Junglearium it was growing like crazy all the time. I had to cut it all the time, and it was just continuing to grow and grow and grow. I guess for some reason this move was just too big shock for the plant. This plant is also doing nice, as you see, new leaf, just like with the other plant, bigger and shorter. So yeah, it got enough light. Same thing goes for this plant. These are new leaves, while that one and these two are the old leaves, and you can immediately see how much shorter are these new leaves. And for some reason, I don't know why it happened, but here is a fresh leaf that is for some reason broken, and I have no idea why it broke. The only possible scenario is, since it was probably staying like this, frog or gecko jumped here on the tip, and because of that it broke like this. But I can see that new one is already coming out, so it is not a problem. Something is sprouting here. I'm not really sure what that is. We will see with time. And something is sprouting here, which is this plant probably. Somehow it sprouted from the same root, you see. In regards to this big picture plant, for some reason these biggest pictures dried out. I was checking them almost every day to make sure that there are no lizards inside, no geckos, and for now they were empty all the time, so I'm not sure if this is the shock of the move or something, but from what I can see, new leaves are coming out without any problem, new pictures are coming out without a problem, so this location is good for it. So that pictures are probably just part of adaptation to this space, this location. This plant, these are old leaves, while this is a new leaf. Same thing, it is not that pronounced, but you can see that it is bigger and shorter. And now I can show you fresh bromeliad, fresh bromeliad, fresh bromeliad, fresh bromeliad here, yeah, and fresh bromeliad over there, and the fresh bromeliad over here. And somehow you see this leaf. This is, I believe, this plant, right? How it is sprouting over there, it is complete mystery. I just dislike how this area is still not covered, but eventually I think that this plant will just go up and cover it. It just takes time, you see. It is climbing over here and over here and over here and over here. So eventually it will cover it, but it takes time. This moss is also growing on its own. And this, I'm not really sure what this is, but it is growing on its own. I love it. As you see with the background, so far so good. Nothing has fallen down. Everything is holding at its spot. So I would say great success. And that is basically the entire development of the Junglearium. I need to add more animals, but I need something visual that we can see most of the time. Not all the time, of course, but most of the time. I want some larger snails for the water section. I maybe want some crabs, if they can survive inside, and I'm still thinking of getting Dendrobates tinctorius instead of auratus, getting a bunch of them, the blue ones, but I need to find a really good deal. And that's it. Future updates will follow. Please check out the shirts if you want to support the nature adventure, the first Dark Day nature adventure in the jungle. If you want that to happen, now it's time to act. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, thumbs it up and comment something. If you want to support this channel more, there's a Patreon page and the webshop page with merch and enclosures. If you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe. Upload every Monday and sometimes a live stream on Sunday. So see you again really soon. Bye.